Going back in time, somewhere at the year 2005, one of the most successful EA games got launched, the Need for Speed Most Wanted. It was the most successful of them all because of a number of reasons, one of them being the customization. Fast forward back in 2018, when Forza Horizon 4 got launched, it also had upgrades and customizations. Since we're referring to Horizon 4 for our build, we'll try to replicate that in Unity. The main focus of this video will be wheel upgrades, more specifically wheel spacing upgrades. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so this is our game. You might be familiar with this. And now what we're going to try to build in this episode is, if we hit play, we're going to see obviously the vehicle. We can change our vehicle to wherever we want. And now what we're going to try to do is offset these wheels. So if we go to the settings, we'll see that these offsets actually offset the wheels. So what we have is obviously our upgrades. We can do the color upgrades as well. And then what we have is the wheels upgrade. The wheels upgrade have 4 different upgrades in them. First of them is the wheel radius. So we can change the wheel radius to wherever we want. This seems to be perfect for me. And then what we have is the wheel suspension distance. So this is usually very low, but if you set it too low, the car won't drive as well, because the suspension has almost no travel distance. So I'm gonna keep it respectably low. And then what we have is these offsets. So this is the vertical offset and this is the horizontal offset. The vertical offset, you might have guessed, offsets the wheels into the vertical axis. So I'm gonna leave it in here. And then what we have as our last value is the horizontal axis. So this will offset the wheels at a given float variable. So we can set it in here if we want to, obviously. And then this, if we go to our scene view, we'll see that the wheels offset into this direction for the left wheels and in the opposite direction for the right wheels. So we have a simple odd number formula to offset them into specific directions. And now what we can do is get out the play mode and then get back in the play mode, and we'll see that the values have been saved. And now we can do is just go and play a map. We'll see that the wheels have updated. We'll go to the scene view. We'll see that the wheels are all the way out. And now we can drive as intended. It's sliding because it's not getting very good traction. Okay, now I'm gonna set them back to normal values. I'm gonna paint the car whatever color I want to paint the car. And then I'm just gonna hit play. Okay, everything works fine. Now let's take a look at how we can build it through code. You can find this down in the video description if you're interested. I don't think you are, but if you are, you can download it. And now what we have is all these values that we had previously. All we added is the wheel specifications. So we have radius, distance, offset, and vertical offset. What we do is we organize the panel. Then organizing the panel, we have all these if statements. And then after we do that, we have this buy function that actually lets us buy certain colors and then sets them as player prefs in here. Actually, this gets us the currency. And we have the apply purchase that sets the integer with the car name and the upgrade type with the value. And then in here we have this update function where we animate the wheels continuously, and then if we're not in this awake scene, we update these values constantly. Okay, so in the UI side of things, what we have is a upgrades button, obviously, and then what we have is a extra wheels panel. If we enable, it is going to show us these new values that we added. So we have radius, distance, and the offsets. And then after those, we have these sliders that correspond to each button. So if we disable that one more time, and if we hit play, what we're gonna have is obviously our vehicle. We're gonna have our upgrade type, since we have only the wheels upgrade for this vehicle. And then what we have is our float variables as sliders. So these will obviously save as a player prefs, as we said earlier, and we can offset these into a desired position. So don't forget that the suspension distance must be at least like 20%, because then what you'll have is a very stiff suspension, which is not good. So then what you can add is a offset to offset your vehicle at a lower position, and then what you can do is select the car and play the game. Okay, so that's about it for this tutorial. I know it's kind of short, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the upcoming tutorials.